It is utterly shocking when you think about what these kids must have experienced, what they must have seen, and how desperate they must have felt. It is utterly horrific.
The idyllic town of Skene, Scotland.
3 kids.
Okay, 3 kids.
It's the new home to American couple Teresa and Pasquali Riggi.
They were the all-American couple who seemed to have it all. They moved because of his job to the United Kingdom in 1990, and thereafter, for a period of several years, were very happily married couple.
They put down roots and start thinking about raising a family in Scotland.
So do you know what the success rate for IVF is?
But a natural pregnancy eludes them. They turn to IVF. It takes several years, but finally, in December 2001, the gift they want, twin boys. Friend Amber Siebold remembers the joy.
She seemed like a very loving mother, very kind and very together as well. She was always immaculate. Her children were always immaculate. You know, they were always well fed.
Teresa's besotted by her boys. She puts them before everyone else, even her husband.
Teresa immediately banished her husband from their marital bed and brought the babies into the bed and slept with them there.
Scotland and IVF turn out to be wonderfully fruitful for the Riggis. Pasquali is earning good money, and after 3 years, they have another child, daughter Cecilia. But Teresa's love for her children is starting to become an obsession.
Princess party next year?
Yeah.
She didn't let her children socialize with anybody around them, largely keeping them inside the house.
You want to have a princess party for your birthday?
TV reporter James Matthews discovered it wasn't just the children staying indoors.
She didn't engage with the outside world to any degree herself.
It's very nice for you to color that.
Mom, why can't we go to school like other kids?
Teresa didn't even trust the education department, insisting on homeschooling them.
You're much safer here with me.
She had talked about how she had a hard time in high school, and that's why she wanted to homeschool her children.
They need to interact with other kids. Why can't you see that?
They're not going, and that's final!
Obsessed with her children, Teresa leaves her husband out in the cold.
I want a divorce.
Pasquali now has little sway in the household. The two parents drift apart.
She talked about, you know, their differences in sort of parenting from the beginning, and they just became her all as soon as they were there. So nobody else mattered anymore.
Finally, Pasquali has enough. He moves out of the family home. Teresa reacts badly, not because her husband leaves her, but he now has visitation with their children for 4 hours every week.
She was absolutely devastated. She just couldn't imagine even 4 hours a week without them.
Teresa Riggi had, among other things, a paranoid personality.
Where have you been?
Just over there.
Well, that's not good enough. I told you to come straight back when you heard the beep.
Alarmed by this sort of behavior, Pasquali decides he has to act. He petitions for full custody of all 3 children. Teresa could soon lose everything, but she has no intention of letting that happen.
I just remember her saying if he ever got custody of them, you know, he would never see them again, something along those lines. And what I really remember is her face, because it was like pure determination. You know, she wasn't gonna let that happen under any circumstances.
She phoned Pasquali Riggi at 11:30 at night
Are you planning on taking the children away
and
from me?
asked him, "Are you trying to take my children away from me?" His reply was, "Well, you've left me with no choice. And she said,
Say goodbye then.
she hung up the phone.
On August 4th, 2010, Teresa takes family law into her own hands. Turning on 8-year-old Austin.
It is utterly shocking when you think about what these kids must have experienced, what they must have seen, and how desperate they must have felt. It is utterly horrific.
One by one, Teresa chases down her children.
They saw her coming, they tried to stop her. She probably chased them around the apartment. Each of them saw her doing this.
Each of the children was stabbed 8 times, mostly in the chest, but in other parts of their bodies, in the hands and on the arms. In killing the children, she used 3 different knives.
The last one to die saw their 2 siblings killed by her. It's one of the worst murder scenes I can think of.
There was blood everywhere in the house, in the bathroom, in the kitchen, at the breakfast bar, on the oven hob. It was a scene of carnage.
If Teresa couldn't have her children, nobody could.
I think there was anger and revenge at Pasquali involved in how she killed her children. You think I'm not serious? Watch this. You think you can take my children? Watch this. This is a very, very deadly woman.
But the senseless brutality isn't over. Teresa starts on herself.
Slashing her throat a number of times, stabbing herself in the chest and abdomen.
She's intent on dying with her children, but just can't seem to pull it off.
There were 2 separate ligatures hanging from the 2nd floor landing, one a dressing gown cord, the other a pair of hair straighteners.
After unsuccessfully stabbing, then strangling herself, Teresa turns to fire.
She then started an explosion in the house by disconnecting the gas hob.
But still, Teresa is alive. She resorts to the apartment balcony.
She was seen to climb on the railing by neighbours, swayed for around a minute, shouted, "I can't believe what's happening to me."
My children! Don't jump! Oh, God!
And then threw herself off that 2nd floor balcony.
But a car breaks her fall. Teresa is rushed to the hospital and survives. The small Scottish town of Skene is in disbelief. Teresa thought of her children as possessions, who she would rather destroy than share. She leaves a stricken husband and a community in shock. All Teresa has now are her deadly deeds.
Teresa Riggi has never expressed any remorse. Psychiatrists who have examined her say that she continues to believe that God was calling her and her children home.
What Teresa wanted was to make her husband pay and suffer the rest of his life over what she did. And making her husband suffer was more important than the life she had created.